Hi, this is John Scarponi. My class is Social Media Marketing with Professor Terry Dotcher. First of all, I want to thank Terry for an amazing and enlightening course. My eyes have been opened to the potential and power of social media marketing. I'm witnessing it all over the world. Social media is only becoming more relevant to our daily lives. My project began with this directive: to design and implement a social media marketing campaign for a product, company, or cause. I chose the parish house in my hometown of Canterbury, New Hampshire. I like to call it the heartbeat of the town. The parish house is owned by the Canterbury United Community Church, or CUCC, and is a non-profit operated under the guidance of the church council, trustees, and deacons, each member a leader within the church operations, including music, building needs, and so on. So let's cover some of my first actions. Meet with the church council chair. Write content for Facebook. Meet with church leaders. Identify super users to help. Hold meetings to review plan. Get approval from church leaders. I never obtained approval. So let's take a look at the things I should have known about. Later, I can explore things outside of my control. Discovers one thing: it's a different environment than the private sector. If you work for a small business, you are likely to interface with just one person, making the decision process much more nimble. Decisions can be made on the spot by the owner or partner. When working with a nonprofit, though, decisions aren't quite as easy. Every nonprofit has a charter that defines how it should operate. Because it is a nonprofit, the document is public information. Read the charter and take notes. Write specific directives down on note cards and have them handy for meetings. Meet objections from board members with directives right from the charter. By speaking directly to the charter of the nonprofit, it makes it harder for a board member to oppose you. What board member wants to be seen as opposing the charter? If your campaign is a pitch for how well you will do during the campaign, it could easily alienate one or more board members. Once the seed of opposition is planted, a board member could make it much harder for you to operate within the confines of the charter. Suddenly, your well-planned campaign is sitting on the shelf for the next 6 months while the board haggles over the objections. Don't let this happen to you. Campaigns that could have been implemented in several days or weeks in the private sector may instead take several months in the nonprofit world. Don't let this be discouraging. By design, nonprofits move slowly. Use the lull to your advantage through better preparation. Make sure you have all the information you need for a meeting before it starts. If a decision at the meeting can't be made because all the information isn't available, it may further delay and frustrate you. Significant snowfall delayed 2 important meetings. When a committee only meets once a month, and that meeting falls during a winter storm, the meeting gets postponed. I had several meetings delayed due to bad weather. The timing of the initiative conflicted with the annual meeting upcoming in March. Questions about whether to have a website, much less a social media marketing campaign, will be answered by the congregation during the annual meeting. This stalled my campaign until that time. Accepting donations for an online social media marketing campaign turned out to be much more difficult than expected. The establishment of the accounts is complicated, and even more complex when taking the nonprofit status into account. Other initiatives are in process, including the desire for the church to accept credit and debit cards for donations. There's also the need for an official CUCC website. The church council concluded that the best strategy was to address the entire congregation at once and adopt an e-commerce strategy. I kept a journal of my progress as compared to my proposal. The time allotments I set out to achieve were, for the most part, accurate. Some meetings took longer, others not as long. Yet my campaign was as much philosophical as it was social. I had to learn to slow down my approach. I envisioned a Facebook page up within a few days or weeks, and tens of thousands of dollars in donations. In reality, though, instituting anything new within a nonprofit has its challenges, as I think everyone involved agrees. Change isn't always easy, and it isn't always fast, but the general feeling is that the campaign was a good idea and it aligns with the other church initiatives. While there was no formal announcement of the campaign, the fund collected just over $200 from word-of-mouth donations. People want to help, they just need to be shown the methods. The trustees also suggested that their ongoing mission. The future of the campaign looks bright. I'm already a church and board member, so I want to see the campaign succeed. Once approval happens, and there is a 99.99% likelihood of success, the strategy can be implemented relatively quickly. The parts already exist. The keywords are done. The competitive analysis is done. Opportunities exist for target markets and brand alignment are identified. One big question when tracking the success of the campaign is dollars versus likes. Getting $1 once from a stranger that will never give another dime is great, but what if the campaign doesn't reach $250,000? How does the campaign find another person? This could be difficult if the network hasn't taken hold or if the campaign is not viral, but instead sick. A person that has been generous enough to give $1 may be just as likely to give one more, or 5, or 10, if simply asked, because he or she believes in the cause. There are many items still left to do, including publishing a Facebook site, gathering email addresses, creating a Gmail account for administrative tasks, creating 3 30-second videos requesting donations, creating a Twitter account, leveraging the posted links of supporters of New Hampshire nonprofit concerns, mining other social media sites for references to Canterbury, creating a Foursquare account and pinning the parish house there. So we've reached the end. Thank you for taking the time to review my video. I would like to take the time to thank Terry, the class, and the CUCC for all their support and guidance throughout the class and this project. It was truly an enjoyable experience.